shockwaves through the Nigerian business and financial landscape. With the conglomerate facing significant liquidity challenges and operational hurdles, concerns are mounting about the potential implications for the broader economy. I mean, it's not just about Dangote here. We're looking at the broader economy, seeing that some of the things that were mentioned are actually things you can find all around, especially when you look at the consumer goods sector. Now, in this interview, we'll delve into the details of the downgrade, its underlying causes, and the potential fallout for Dangote, Dangote Industries, and of course, I talk about the whole of the Nigerian financial landscape. Well, joining me for this, I have with me James Oladisa, investment research analyst with Chapel Hill Denham. Thank you so much, James, for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great. Now, let's begin with this. What's your reading of the recent downgrade of Dangote Industries by Fitch? I mean, did you see it coming?
So when we look at Dangote Industries, the reality is I think everyone understood that the business was quite leveraged because of the need to build the oil refinery. So when we see this type of decision by the credit rating agency, I don't think it's one that should spook the market. It's just necessary for us to understand the risks that are involved in this business. I think that generally, when we look at their portfolio of companies, we see that the cash flow and the performance from some of their major businesses still remains strong.
Yes, greetings everyone. So Fitch happened to have downgraded Dangote, and we want to look at the implications of this, of course, and what is driving Fitch itself in its downgrade of Dangote oil refinery. We have seen that Dangote has experienced a lot of challenges in the Nigerian market, and of course all over the African continent ever since he started the oil refinery. We have looked at the different challenges which Dangote has experienced, of course, regarding the government and the internal mafias, who he called the oil cartel, the oil mafias, who are stronger than the drug dealers, of course. And we have analyzed for you, including the Western media, how it has approached Dangote's challenges within the country itself, regarding his challenges with securing crude oil. So it turns out that he has people who are fighting him within the country, and also on the international stage because of the refinery. Now, the latest to come out, of course, is Fitch, ratings. We know that this is a Western institution. Fitch is a Western institution, which is responsible for rating economies, global economies. We want to look at, is this a rating which came out for Dangote, of course, really justified? Is the rating really justified when it comes to Dangote and the performance of the refinery, and the fact that the refinery has just launched recently in January and just started producing refined oil later on in April, or there is a concerted effort by even the Western institutions working with their internal men within the Nigerian market, within the African continent, of course, to attack Dangote. So let's go to the article which was published recently. Of course, it started with Reuters. It was published, and then the Nigerian firms, of course, themselves, they jumped on it. But what is interesting also is that the African, platforms, or the African ratings, economic ratings, have for them, graded him well compared to Fitch industry. So the latest news, this is what it says. The latest review of the creditworthiness of the corporation saw Fitch lower its national long-term rating to B plus, all right, from AA, double AA, and placed the ratings of the group on rating watch negative. As we have seen the analyst, what he has said is that there is not really much to concern about when it comes to the Dangote oil refinery. And what did they say? What did the Fitch actually say, in regards to the Dangote oil refinery? Of course, what they said is that the Dangote's liquidity position, that is what they based on to rate the Dangote oil refinery. As you are seeing, this is what they said that it is because of liquidity problems. So we ask a question: how does Fitch really know what is going on inside the Dangote company itself, the Dangote group of companies? Fitch Ratings has downgraded Dangote's industries, the conglomerate of companies owned by Africa's richest person. Of course, this is the richest black person as well, noting a decline in the group's liquidity position amid the operational, financial, underperformance. That is what it is said. That Dangote is having problems with credit worthiness. He doesn't have enough money, at hand, and of course, they are even saying that, he they are even saying that he doesn't have money to pay back the loans. But Fitch's said, assessment, of course, at the same time, is being countered by another ratings agency called the GSR Ratings on Monday. And GCR, of course, is based in South Africa. Is another, a ratings agency based in South Africa. So now these are contradictory. So this is an African agency, and the other one is, is a Western rating agency. The GSR on Monday confirmed, that both the national scale long-term and short-term issuer ratings, are at AA plus and A1 respectively. Okay, this is what the group said according to their rating. So GSR based the information on the rating, of the ratings on the potential significant improvement in Dangote oil refinings, Dangote's earnings after operations started at the petrochemical refinery, which is of course the Dangote oil refinery, with huge earnings similarly anticipated from other subsidiaries within the group. The ratings are constrained by the diverse impact of the currency devaluation. And of course, what other item has been spoken about was the fact that the Nigerian economy was downgraded. Okay, they devalued the currency, and you remember that Nigeria has been the biggest economy on the African continent in itself. All right, but when the currency was devalued under the auspices of the International Monetary Fund, okay, the advice of the International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund is the one which advised the Tinubu administration, because the Tinubu administration itself, of course, wanted to get some loans from the International Monetary Fund. Now, that devaluation of the naira as the currency of Nigeria brought the Nigerian economy from being even the fourth, the first, or the biggest economy on the continent, to now becoming the fourth biggest economy on the African continent. Even Egypt right now is ahead of it, and South Africa, of course, is at the top there. So this, of course, affected even the Dangote industries, and this is what Fitch, shows out. But again, let us put this in context. Let us really put this, in context. Fitch itself, as an agency, as a Western agency, of course, has had, a dubious relationship with the African countries. It has been all these major Western, rating institutions have had, a very weird relationship with the African continent, which I have called dubious, questionable relationship in how they grade the various African economies. Now, on July, 13th, 2024, the African Union came out to say that it's going to launch its own rating agency. All right. It said that it's going to launch its own rating agency. And what did it say? One of the eminent members of the National African Peer Review Mechanism Governing Council, Lord Mansfield Bado, urged the African nations to support the creation of African credit ratings agencies to provide a credible and reliable credit rating system for African countries. What did they notice? Of course, they noticed, Mr. Bado said that the creation of Africa's own credit ratings agencies would help counter the harmful practices of global ratings agencies. All right. Now, of course, President Nanado also added that, that recently, he highlighted the detrimental impact of global rating agencies on developing economies, describing their actions as reckless and unfriendly. So you have seen Dangote and his company, all right? Previously, he has faced a lot of challenges. We have shown you, the pressure he has faced, as I mentioned, not only from internal actors, who he called mafias, but also Western agencies, including media platforms, all right, like Reuters, which came out to attack Dangote. Okay, in one way or another, they came out to attack Dangote simply because of launching the refinery. So, but in our analysis of imperialism and how it works, because this is a major infrastructure project. The Dangote refinery is a major infrastructure project, which they have, of course, said that it would change, drastically the oil industry globally. Even, 90 refineries in Europe are likely to close. Now, the West, it seems like the West does not want to go down, okay, without a fight. They want to continue to sabotage Dangote oil refinery because all these things are happening within this period. Dangote has never been attacked in this kind of way, but all these attacks are happening, recurrently. They are happening in a way that they are rapid. If one stops, then another one, starts. And of course, working with their partners, who are the neo-colonial government, of course, in Nigeria and other neo-colonial governments across the African continent. And of course, they are working together as a system, and they are trying everything they can to suppress the Dangote oil refinery. The Dangote has ramped up the Dangote refinery has wrapped up its production. Of course, right now is producing at a rate of around 400,000 barrels per day. All right. This is a refinery of a capacity of up to 650,000. So currently, it is producing at a rate of 400,000. So it is really unfortunate for a refinery that is going to bring in up to 25 billion dollars annually, as Dangote mentioned during the Africanism, Africa Import and Export Bank annual general meetings when he was in Barbados, and also when he was in Kigali at the Africa CEO Forum. He mentioned that the refinery is going to have the potential of bringing in $25 billion every year. Remember that Nigeria's market is more than also $25 billion when it comes to the importation of refined oils. But we see that the Western world is not relenting in its attack on the Dangote oil refinery, and it is using all types of tools in this attack. It is using the media, it is using everything. It is using internal agents, who are all stacked within, the Nigerian government, of course, including the president himself, who has interest in the oil industry in Nigeria. They are using everything. They are using all types of propaganda to be able to attack the Dangote oil refinery. So we really need to pray for him. So this production of 400,000 barrels per day shows you that Dangote actually is ramping up, and the project is going to be profitable, all right, and it's going to benefit all the African continent, not only Nigeria and West Africa, but it's going to benefit all the African continent. And he has clearly, mentioned this, that the refinery is going to benefit all the African continent. But what do you think, the Dangote should do about this situation? What do you think, about the challenges the president, Dangote, who is the president of Dangote Group, is going through? How do you look at the attacks that are going on, against Dangote? And what do you think that he should do? How are we supposed to help him as Pan-Africans and as people who are out there, and have interest in this kind of infrastructure? Because these challenges, to be honest, if you are a faint-hearted person, you will not be able to endure, them. And even him himself, we saw that when he saw that the pressure was too much, he reached a point where he said that the Nigerian government should come and buy the refinery if they don't want him to run the refinery. And of course, this is due to the tremendous pressure that the government was putting on, and the fact that they are not, happy. They are not happy that he's operating the refinery. Some elements within the government of Nigeria are not happy that Dangote has started operating the refinery, because they see that what they have been benefiting from is going to go away. And of course, which is unfortunate, because this is for the benefit of all the country and actually all the African people. We Africans, we have an interest in the Dangote oil refinery. So that is why it is important. It is important for us to make a contribution, whether it means in the media, whether it means writing to the Nigerian government. But what do you think that we should do as a people, and what do you think Dangote should do, to make a contribution as a people? What should we do to make a contribution, and what do you think that Dangote should do to fight back against these cartels on the African continent and within the Nigerian crude oil market? Put that, within, the comment section. Put your suggestions within the comment section, and we will dialogue from there as we go forward, on this video. I want to thank you once again. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, and like the video, of course, and share it with other people, so that we can push out this information, and our people will be able to understand how neocolonialism works. Okay, how neocolonialism works. This channel has been dedicated to fighting for the interests of the African people. There is a lot of other channels, of course, which are fighting for the interests of African people and pushing out the African narrative. But we are asking you to push forward this channel also, so that it can grow, and we can continue to fight together for the interests of the African people. This infrastructure is very, very important. The infrastructure is extremely important, not only for Nigeria, but all the African continent. And we have had, President Dangote say this in the past. Support the channel. Once again, share the platform with other people. Share and like, this video and other videos. We have done a lot of analysis on other videos. And I want to thank you once again for being part of this platform. Once again, my name is Kwame Gonza, and the channel is called Connect Africa. Talk to you later. Thank you so much.